Hello, hello. We are here today with Alan PC Kenna, my dear fellow Quantum Leap. So, welcome to this channel, Alan, and it's happy to have you. What are we going to discuss today, Alan? Tell us. An
Oh, what
important
are we going to
decision you
discuss?
made
Hey,
between
yeah,
the many important decision you made.
yeah, absolutely. Made a great decision I suppose the way I see it is you're investing in your future
Yes.
and you're making the decision today of how you want your health and life trajectory to go for the next 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years. That's how I see it.
So, what's your greatest investment that you've done so far in your future?
My greatest investment. Oh, well, I think one thing always leads to another.
Mhm.
So I believe the first moment that you start to make a decision on something that you know in your heart is what you really want to do, but sometimes you've got, the alternative side of you saying, is it worth it? Will it be worth it? Is it too much? Da 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 da. And you don't listen to that. You just follow your intuition. Um, and for me, it was a couple of years ago, actually, to be honest. It was starting to invest in my health. I was
Mhm.
starting to look after my body. It was starting to watch what I was actually putting into it. And it was starting to trust that just because you're doing everything the way everybody does it or the way you've done it up until that point isn't always necessarily the right way. And you have to think outside the box. And once you start doing that, you start thinking that there's alternative ways to be looking after yourself, well, then opportunities just come. And one after another. And as they say, you can only connect the dots looking backwards. So it's everything up to this year, up till May or June this year, led me to the decision to invest even further in my health. And this time it was looking at the water that I was putting into my body.
Awesome.
And I found that through you.
Amazing. I want to ask you, why do you think it's important to invest in our body and into our health, considering the trajectory of our life or the goals, the plans that we have for our future or our life in general?
Yeah. Um, well, your body's like it's the only one you get. It's the one that you wake up in and live in and brings you everywhere that you need to go. If you're nourishing yourself in the best possible way, well, then your mindset is going to be in the correct way to be making decisions and to trust yourself, and you're going to have more energy. Um, in terms of life trajectory, if you decide that you want to change your life at any stage, or you want to change your career, or you want to build a business, or that's one aspect of it. You need to be fit and healthy because that's going to be a difficult journey and you're going to have to be showing up with that energy, as I said, every single day. And the other part of it is if you have kids, like I do, have two of them, you want to be around for as long as possible. You want to be as healthy as possible. You want to have as much energy again to be able to keep up with them so that you're not slowing down as the years tick by. In fact, you're getting healthier, you're getting younger,
Mhm.
and your pathological age and your biological age start to take two different trajectories. And that's totally been the case with me for sure over the last number of years.
Amazing.
And as you know, personal experience as well, been in the ambulance service for the last 15 years. I know and I've seen and I've experienced what happens when you don't look after yourself. The
And
healthcare is not
can you give
healthcare.
us a difference, like how you felt before and how you felt after? Like how you felt on the times that you didn't prioritize your body, your health, your energy, your vitality. How did that feel and how that impacted your body and overall life, and how did you start feeling, and what did you see changing in your life as a result of that? Because I believe that the way we take care of our body, or the way we take care of our health, we literally take care of every other aspect of our life. So how that played in your life?
Absolutely. So physically, I would have been very sluggish. I wouldn't have had the energy to get up and to go out and play, or even if this is what my kids now, um, I wouldn't have been, you know, been the person that I wanted to be, if that makes sense, because I wasn't putting the right ingredients, the right water, the right food into my body. So, um, your unconscious mind knows that you can be fitter, you can be better, you can be showing up as a different person. So when you're not doing that, you start to feel very guilty and ashamed, and you start to feel angry, and that comes through in your personality and in your life. And I'll honestly say I was like that for a long time, a very, very long time, because I couldn't figure out how I needed to be fit, how I needed to be healthy. All the traditional ways, it didn't seem to work, and or it didn't have the longevity to last until you sort of figured out the real reason why it is important to be looking after yourself. So it kept you very closed-minded as well. You just sort of went along with the days as they tipped by, and you sort of got to a level. And I actually remember at this point, I remember at one point saying, "This is me. This is the weight I'm always going to be. This is how I'm always going to feel. It's not right for me. I can't change." I remember saying these words to myself and just sort of saying, "Okay, I accept who I am," even though I was dreadfully unhappy inside for many years, because just through frustration of not being able to get a lasting change. Um, and then contrasting that, like I said, eventually listening to my intuition, listening to the opportunities and seeing the opportunities that the universe kept putting in my way, kept putting in my path. And thank God, through persistence, eventually I took a leap of faith and started to think outside the box. And it all snowballed effect from there. My I'm 30 and 40 this year, and these last 4 to 5 years have been the healthiest I've ever been in 35 years on this planet.
Wow.
And yeah, it's uh it's like two different people.
Can I highlight something for whoever is going to watch this video in the future? I
I
want
know I don't look like I'm 40. You don't have to
Yes,
highlight that. It's okay.
definitely. That's for sure. And you're happy not to be. I like to say that I literally had goosebumps when you mentioned about the fact that I would love to be around for as long as possible because I have two kids. And it's interesting how sometimes, um, unfortunately or fortunately, we don't prioritize ourselves, but we would do anything possible for someone else. And the fact that you have the kids, it made a huge role into your decision with regards to how you want to live your life. And as you said, like I want to keep up with them because we know like they are like an immersed energy, and you have to be there to really enjoy them. And another thing which I like to point out is the emotional state that
Mm,
we tend to have when we are not at our best in our body, right? Like guilt, shame, angry,
hmm.
frustration. And if we look at those emotions, what that creates into our reality, into our finances, into our relationship, into our career, into our path in anything, like that kind of takes us away, and it's sabotaging our success, and it doesn't allow us to have that meaningful life experience. It doesn't allow money flow to come into to our life, and opportunities, and relationship to be built because of those emotions. And it's interesting how it's connected to the way we feel in our body, and how healthy and vital we feel in our body. And it's interesting to see the connection between the body, the health, and other aspects of our life. And I see it very, very, very powerful. And I appreciate that you shared that with me, and we can highlight those things. And yeah, I want to also talk about the leap of faith that you took. And I like the fact that you said, yes, the mind is like kind of sabotaging us from making the decision. But then you kind of had that leap of faith. What was the difference between the sabotaging mind that was telling you not to do something or anything like that? And how did that switch happen for you from not being ready or not being willing to go through, and to that decision, okay, it's possible, like it's possible for me as well, like.
I think a lot of it has to do with the persistence of the person who's presenting the opportunity to you,
Mhm.
honestly. Because, like I said, a lot of the times our mind is telling us that we don't have the time for this, we don't have the money for this. Oh, yeah, it looks brilliant, it looks great, but it's not for me. And the other side of you is going, well, this wouldn't have came to you if it wasn't meant to come to you. And often it does take, and if I look back a couple of different investments I've made in my health and business over the last couple of years, there has been a persistent force. In this case, you, Miss Costello, uh, like calling me out on it and saying, "You want this, you know it's good for you. Make a decision and stick to that decision." And in that situation, it was like, yeah, you're right, because even when you make that decision and then you move forward with it, it brings out a lot of confidence in yourself in other things that you should be listening to your intuition on in all areas of your life. So you might be tipping along, making good decisions, like I said, in your business or with your kids or in other areas of your health, and then something comes into your life. And it is the thing that you've been looking for, otherwise it wouldn't have came in. And but you still feel a little bit of resistance to it. And I think it tips the scales, particularly when, like I said, I'm not trying to give you a big head here, but when you have somebody who is that passionate about what they're doing and has your, it's like you had my future self and the results that I was going to achieve as your number one objective with your persistence in getting me to make a decision and saying, look, make it because this is going to be worth it. And I think that does tip the scales quite a lot. And we need that. We need that, particularly when it is when it is a significant financial investment
Thank you.
at the time.
Thank
It
you for
never is afterwards.
trusting
The time
yourself,
it's only
first
at
of all. Thank you for trusting yourself, because I think you must be trusting yourself first, and then trust the other person that has your best interest at heart. Because if you don't trust yourself, and if you don't trust the other person that has your best interest at heart, obviously you will feel it. You will feel it and you will know it. Regardless of how much persistent someone is, you'll feel that they have your best interest or not, or they have their own
yeah.
interest as well. And with regards to the decision, it's a big, big, big thing. And it's something that I would like to highlight this as well, and kind of give a bit of an education to whoever is going to watch the video as well. You know what I realized that is like, at one hand, we make a decision, we recognize that something is good and is valuable, but then, as you said, like the mind chatter kicks in and kind of try to get you out of it. And what I realized that most of the times we make decision, but we cancel those decision, or we try to find reason or excuses for why it's not now the time, or why it's not the right thing for us, or anything like that. But we have that tendency to say yes, even though we say it out loud, or even though we say it inward to our own self. In the moment we got introduced and presented to the opportunity, but then we kind of like cancel that, and we try to get ourselves out of it. And what I realized, like this thing is like the biggest enemy that we have in terms of how we show up in life, and what are the things it's going to influence this. Because if I give my word to myself that I'm going to do this, and then I cancel that and I get myself out of it, it's like you don't trust yourself, you don't trust your ability and capability, and then how many other aspects of our life it will affect:
Hmm.
relationship, money, career, business, or anything else that we would like to create in our life. Like it's like I'm not integrous with myself, and I'm kind of keep lying to myself, or I'm sabotaging myself, or I cut the tree from my under my feet or anything like that. So yeah, that's what I've noticed. Yeah. What do you think?
I agree. Absolutely. You have to trust what it is you want. You might not be able to do it straight away. It's not always possible to you know, magic things up. But if you put it in your field of vision, if you put it as one of the goals that you or the things that you want to focus on, that you want to create, well then that's good. That's a start.
Yeah.
That's a commitment.
As
And you can
even
follow through on that.
Yeah, as even Bob Proctor was saying, like at first you have to make a decision, and then figure out the way, or make that
Yeah.
possible. But if you postpone and you hold your decision until you make that possible, or you accumulate the money, that's not gonna never gonna happen, because we have to first make the decision and then create the finances to follow through with that.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Exactly.
Okay, so how do you feel now that you've made the decision and you conquer that resistant, or that limiting self that was telling you it's not the time, it's not for me, or anything like that? How do you feel that you've chose to make a difference in terms of your health, in terms of the water you drink, and all that stuff?
It's it's just part of life now. It was, you never, as far as I can remember, I've never looked back, and certainly never regret it. But it's as if it was always there. It was like, what's the big deal? Why did you make such a big deal about it? You have this thing now, or you have this knowledge now, or you have this healthier self of you now, and you don't you don't the frustration, or the not the frustration, the worry or whatever it was that was going through your mind was is it's non-existent. You've gone past it, and now there's just you where you are, thinking to yourself, that was cool, and I feel awesome, and that was a great decision. How many other great decisions can I make in my life?
Amazing.
um where's the next one coming from? And like, even now, it's looking at the food I'm eating, looking at moving towards a different type of food lifestyle.
So
So
would you
it's
say just
one
because
thing
you
leading
made
on to the
one
next.
decision in one direction, and you have that as a reminder, right? Like you have that as a reminder,
Yeah.
it helps you to make different, healthier and better decision in other
Yep.
areas as well. Amazing.
a-
Amazing.
Absolutely. It's I think. it's like a habit.
Mm,
In order to get rid of a bad habit, you need to replace it with a good habit. You
mm,
need to fill that space. And when you fill that space with a good habit over time, it becomes your identity and it becomes who you are.
mm,
And you look back and you go, who is that person? Because I don't recognize them. Because
mm,
I'm this different version of myself now. I've changed my standards.
mm,
I don't, use again, perfect myself as an example. When I used to get stressed, I used to smoke or I used to drink.
mm.
Now, when I get stressed, I go for a run. It's just completely, it wouldn't even be a possibility to go back and do those things because it's not who I am. I'm
Yeah.
over here now. I'm a different person. I treat and those type of um those type of breakthroughs or leaps or whatever word you want to put in, they come when they're meant to come. And sometimes you might miss the boat on one, but it will come back around again, and you'll get another chance to change to make a decision to grow or to invest or to change a habit or to whatever it is. You'll get another chance because that's inside. That's who you are. Your subconscious mind, your intuition, your spirit, whatever way you want to call it. It doesn't matter. It knows,
Yeah.
and you
I
just
like.
have to break through that self resistance, break through that thing that will be put in your way. Because if it wasn't there, if there wasn't a test, if it wasn't a difficult decision, well then, everybody would do it. But
Yeah.
changes, changes, and growth is difficult. It is,
Yeah.
but it's so freaking worth it.
It's rewarding.
Absolutely.
I like the fact that you highlighted twice in different kind of questions that you attract that which you are in a way, or you attract that which aligns with your value, with your interest, with your beliefs. So I would like to highlight that again, that if this opportunity comes your way and you introduce yourself with this opportunity, like for whoever's going to watch this, to acknowledge that this wouldn't have come to them if that wouldn't
Mhm.
represent who they are, their values or their true core, and that wouldn't align with who they are or their path or anything like that. So I caught that twice, so I felt like I need to highlight that again. Awesome. In terms of your physical result, now we kind of discussed the mental, emotional barriers that you had to push through to make the decision. In terms of your physical now, how do you see yourself? How do you feel? And again, like the way you feel in your body, what's your perspective about your future once again?
Absolutely. So so we've been using the water now for 6 months. I say we because we've three adults, two kids, and a dog in the house. The third adult is our au pair, and the dog is the dog. And we all drink every single day, all the water. Me personally, I did feel that it did raise my energy level quite significantly at the start. The poor decision I did make was to not cut out caffeine earlier. I still enjoyed my coffee and my pre-workout and stuff like that, even though it was with the water. But like I said, I wish I'd made that decision sooner to cut out caffeine because now that I have, I don't need it. It's amazing that the water just is a complete replacement for it. And your natural energy cells that you have in your body are kicking in. So yeah, like I said, 6 months ago, definitely had an energy boost, but didn't difficult to compare it with or without caffeine. Now I can, and now
Mhm,
I know. And then in general, I think as you have to test and measure a lot of things. So when you start, well, I cook quite a lot. And when you start cooking with a different type of water, which you can do, you do definitely taste a difference in the food. And then that just becomes the new norm of the new taste.
yeah.
Same with tea. it's definitely tastes different. And then that's just the new norm. It
Mhm.
just tastes amazing. Physically to my body, I definitely felt, and this is specifically one, well, as a male, I had a lot of male attention saying to me, "You've done something different. What's going on?" And that was the thing that I had changed. They said, "You look fresher, you look younger." I was like, "Really?" Um, and again, I'll kick myself now, but whenever these things come around, I'm still not washing my face with the water. I'm still not doing it. We're gonna start. We're gonna start. That's just a
Slowly,
lazy
step by
man's way.
step, step by
Step
step,
by
get one
step by
done.
yeah, exactly. But I haven't even started, so I'm just drinking it, and consuming it. My food is how it comes into me, so I can only imagine. But yeah, definitely had that attention saying something's different. You look different. You're less wrinkles on my face, and you just look
You can
fresher.
say that
And
again. Ah.
yeah, and it
Less
was just
wrinkles, you said?
yes, I definitely yes, yes, absolutely. Um, and then I think in general, I'd look after my body quite well. So it's always going to contribute in some way to your overall fitness, your overall shape, and your the tone of your body. So look, it plays, I think for somebody who is at the start of their health journey, who's making a decision that they want to start to make, to me, health is number one. You have to be looking after yourself. As they say, when the airplane goes down, you have to put your own oxygen mask on first. So despite whatever your relationships, your kids, your dog, your business, you're number one. So if you're at that stage now, this is the perfect time to implement something that you're going to be drinking and consuming and eating every single day for the rest of your life. It's a no-brainer. For somebody who's already started on their health journey, like I eat pretty well, I train 7 days a week, it's going to just bring up your results. It's going to be this new thing that not every barely anybody is doing. You're going to have that edge for sure. And for your energy, and like I said, if you cut out the caffeine, you'll notice that you don't even need it anymore. The pre-workout, you won't even need it anymore. And then, of course, as you're if you're it's the other benefits of the wrinkles and feeling fresher and all that's going to give your confidence a massive boost. So then you're going to want to work out, you're going to want to keep just it's going to be this cycle, this flywheel, that the more you look after yourself, the better you're going to feel, the more you want the more you're going to want to look after yourself and keep it going. And then, like I said to you, I was talking to you about this the other day. Not just myself, my kids drink it, and the two other adults in our house drink it, and the dog drinks it. And I've noticed a massive change in the dog's health over the last 6 months because she runs quite a lot with me, and she's nearly 10. And I swear to God, I didn't cop it for a while. I was like, she looks fitter. She's going longer. She's not as breathless. I was like, it's got to be the water. It's got to be. She eats the same food, and the only thing we changed was the water. She drinks the 8.5, whatever it is, and I believe that's played a massive role in her health. And yeah, so I think you can you can see results in all different areas, in your physical health, and then in how you actually look in the mirror every single morning, and then your own energy or your own confidence in yourself. So it's so many areas. That was just a
Yeah.
big bleh
I like the
of different
fact
areas.
that you said confidence as well, because it does impact your confidence as well. Like the way you feel and the way you look in your body would imply a huge impact in your confidence as well. And obviously, if you have more confidence, obviously, you'll feel even better about yourself. You'll be able to interact with more people, build a bigger, better business, and all the other things, better relationships, and all that stuff. And comparing to what you said it was before, that even though you weren't feeling good in your body, you were just accepting, but that would make you feel like kind of miserable, like it wouldn't give you
Mhm.
that feeling. So from that to feeling amazing and powerful in your body, I think it's a huge shift. So yeah, well done. I'm proud of you
Thank you so much.
and your result and your decision, because everything started with that decision and that trust within yourself. Awesome. Would
I
you
think I
add
think
anything
and
else?
I think, you know, I think what's great about this type of and we keep calling it an investment because it's an investment financially, but it's also an investment in yourself
Yeah.
and something that you're going to, you said the one body, you've only got it for life, so you may as well look after it the best way possible. I think what's one of the amazing things about this is the product, the machine, it lasts for life.
Yeah.
There's pretty much a lifetime
So you
guarantee in
do
it.
it once and then you have it
You
for
do
the
it
rest of
once,
your life.
and then you have it for the rest of your life. I think that's a huge thing. Not a lot of There's not a lot of things that you can invest in that will actually pretty much stand up for the remainder of your for the remainder, well, they say a lifetime. If you're going to live to 100, that's
Yeah.
that's a long lifetime. That's 60
Yes.
years. We might need an upgrade.
Yeah.
Or they might create a better one as the years go by. But I think that's a huge thing because there's a lot of things that you can invest in, and it might be 6 weeks here, or 6 month program this, and accountability for that. And that's when people have a fear that when it ends, they'll revert back to the way they were. With this, all you've got to do is drink. And
Yeah.
you're going to drink every day and anyway, and you're going to drink every
Yeah.
day for the rest of your
Because
life. And your kids are
anyway,
going to
you
drink, and
drink
you're
water. It's not like it's something that you choose it once, as you said,
yeah,
or like couple of times or anything like that. Yeah.
absolutely. I think that plays a huge role.
And I like the fact
In
that you said like you have like you do an investment in yourself, and I always like to believe that your body is your temple. The way you take care of it, the way you're gonna have it, and enjoy your life being here in your temple.
Yeah, very true.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Was
You're
uh,
very welcome.
was great to hear your perspective about your experience in the last couple of months with it. And yeah, wish everyone else wise and courageous decision. Because once you have it, you would actually truly understand the value and the power that it has. Would you agree, Alan, with that?
100%.
Yeah.
I think you've got to, if you're on the fence, you've got to, you know, you can't make any logical decision until you have all the information in front of you.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are like that. They need to see it before they believe it. And for me, it was looking at other people around the world who also do this. One of my mentors is Tony Robbins. He invests in his warrior health. Another one is Grant Cardone. He invests in his health. And those guys wouldn't do these things unless they were getting benefits, or seeing the benefit. So, it just helps you with your decision to trust yourself with the decision that you already know that you want to make.
Yeah, exactly.
Uh,
Awesome. Give me five. Awesome. Awesome. Thank you so much for all the insights. I'm sure it's going to be very valuable and precious for whoever is going to watch. And stay tuned for more.